Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to more Sanctuary Hills conversions. And before we get started today, I'd like to thank everybody for the support on the series, but I do need your help on one more thing, and that is, what should I do with this last house? We've done 11 builds so far, 11 builds in this series, and I'm sort of a little bit out of ideas, so I need your help, please. So we'll show you around. Didn't mean to do that. Show you around. This is what is affectionately known as the Halloween house, so you'll know the one, so you'll see where we are. And yeah, I'm a bit stumped for ideas on this one, so I'll just show you around. I'd love to hear your comments. You've been fantastic with this series thus far. We've done a lot of your suggestion builds, and yeah, what should we do with the last one? It's pretty nice in here. Let's see if we haven't left anything in any drawers. No. So please let me know down in the comments, what should we do with house number 12? I've just about showed you today's build. Okay, we will get into today's build. I think you're going to like it, but first of all, I've got to show you where we built today, and I've got to explain a little bit about it. Let's do it! So welcome to today's build, and yeah, we're right up at the top of the cul-de-sac, and you can see by the footage here where we started. There was just a pile of rubble, but this is going to be Sanctuary Hills Inception moment, and you'll see what I mean in a minute once I get the preset I'm looking for selected, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how to put a foundation on these houses and why I do it. Took me a little bit of time to find this one, but these are as I've said before in Wild Dead Wasteland. There we go. And they're like half sanctuary houses, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to try and do something with this. So you can see I'm putting it down. I'm trying to find the right spot for it on the existing foundation, and I'm trying to line it up as best as possible. But you can see what's happening here. We're getting some flickering there. That's the first thing that happens, and the second thing that kind of sort of happens is when you put this down, it disregards the foundation that you're putting it on, and so if you want to place anything, it sort of kind of makes things drop through the kind of floor there, and like legs of chairs and stuff. So I need to get rid of this flickering, and I need to put a foundation in. So I've spoke about this many times, but I thought I'd just quickly show you how I do this. So pretty much what I do is I use the concrete pieces from Workshop Rearranged. Now you would see these are available. I think these are actually maybe available in the concrete tab, but these are the blocks that I use right here. Very plain, and the reason I use them is because I can sink them into the floor. I think I need the thicker ones. Now I'm going to leave this in because I think it's important that I leave this in so you can see the mistake I made. There are the thicker ones, and you can see they just drop into the floor. So I'm going to use place anywhere obviously to get the first one in, and then we'll go from there. But the important part here is make sure that you've got this in the right position, that it's straight and it's hidden and it's in the right position. If you don't get in the right position to start with, it can cause you all kinds of problems later on. And I actually do have to move this a little bit later. Now you can see that's been a bit special, but I don't know why they're jumping around, but you'll see once you get the first one in, you can basically just click these in. Very important that you do this, and then what I do is I use a floor covering to disguise the fact that I've got concrete in there. So that's how you do it. Let's get to the tour. This one I really enjoyed today, and I actually built a house within a house. So we actually build a structure around this, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So welcome to the latest build in Sanctuary Hills. Nick seems to like it. It is the Carvega repair shop, and yeah, I used the barn tab for this initially, and then I thought, well, it doesn't look kind of sanctuary house-ish enough, if that makes sense. So you can see these windows at the top there I used, which are sanctuary house parts, which I thought looked very, very industrial, and I went for a very kind of warehousey look on this build, as you can see. So I've done a whole lot of depth building, and again, I've mentioned that video that I put out a few weeks ago about how to build depth into your build. But those of you who have watched that video will know exactly what's going on here. And I just want to show you around the outside a little bit so you get a feel for this. So that front facade there, that front part was all those kind of warehouse pieces that you see up the top, and I changed it at the last minute, and I think it's made a huge difference, and it actually blends in really nicely. Now that was a happy mistake, I've got to say, that those kind of warehouse pieces blend in very, very nicely with those sanctuary house ones. But you can see by scrapping it up and adding a little bit of depth, it all kind of sort of blends quite nicely. Now, little trick that I did here, the Carvega sign lights up at night time because I have a spotlight in the tree there, and I've actually powered it by a solar panel. There you go. That is a mod, solar panel mod, that gives you solar generators, and I use them a lot. You're going to see them in a bit. So I felt I just had to get the front of this building correct to sell the fact that it is a kind of almost a Red Rocket Atoms Cart garage type of building, but still with that sanctuary flavour about it. Let's quickly show around the back. So I've used those windows all the way on two sides just to sell that it's quite industrial. You can see there's solar panels up the wazoo. There you go. And the original house is actually still there, and you're going to see how I've incorporated it into this build. So not only have we used one building, we've used two buildings. Oh, it's like Inception G4. I know, that's probably in the title. But yeah, it's very important that you sort of do this to sell the whole overall look, and you can see that Dogmeat is quite excited. Come over here. Come over here. There you go. Sit there. Thank you. And now you're going to stay. Okay. Good. You probably won't, but anyway. Okay, so you will see some homages to the original Red Rocket in things like this, if you're paying quite close attention. And this is all about the fine details. A lot of these pipes and stuff have been added in just to help sell the overall look of it, and then some items just specifically put against walls and stuff like that to sell the overall look of this. Now, I've left that generator in because I think it fits nicely in there. And yeah, let's open the door and let's go in. So here we go. And you can see the original house is still there. Ooh, that's a bit tricky, G4. Never seen you do that before. That's because I haven't done it before. But this is really, really nice. I'm really happy that this all came out. So we have some repair areas for your power armor if you need it. You can see there's a little box there. Toolbox, yeah, that's right. And there's some upgrades if you need them. Lots of stuff around the place. There's obviously a weapons workbench there if we need it. And yeah, again, another item from Red Rocket, but I've blended it in. And lots of little fine details in this. Now, one of the fine details that I do want to show you, and it's one of those things that is just a little bit extra, but it sells the overall look of this kind of warehouse look, is these beams here. I put those beams in there. They're from the warehouse tab. Put them in. I had a problem where, because this ceiling was so high, I didn't have anywhere to put lights, so I put these beams in, and you can see it all kind of works with the aesthetic. Ooh, big words, G4, of the overall build. A lot of items from Creative Clatter and Dead Wasteland in here. And yeah, mixed and matched. And also from the Red Rocket mod from the Master Plan series as well. So, there's a little corner around here that I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I just chucked a whole lot of crap in there, basically. That's a technical term. But yeah, I think it looks fantastic. Now, you can see the concrete floors are gone. And yeah, I've added this kind of covering through the whole build with those, and then put those mats on top where I needed. But there was a gap here, and I found these kind of filler things in Dead Wasteland that sort of all work in perfectly. Fantastic. As usual, the roof gave me all kinds of problems, but I managed to fix it up. So, into the house itself. And yeah, if you're working late and you need to have a nap, you can. There is a safe for putting all your valuables in. And also, I've made a little workshop in here in the back. And I love these cabinets. It all really works well. The fact that the ceiling's falling down works well. And yeah, lots of junk around the place. So there you go, guys. That is the build number 12, the Corvega repair shop. Let me know what you think in the comments, and also let me know ideas for our final build of the series. Actually, that's build number 11, isn't it? So it has been fantastic fun doing this whole series. I will do a final tour video once I get all of these done. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll catch you next time on the channel. See ya.